Top everyone, welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today we're focusing on the Calgary Flames, bringing in Brian Burke as president of hockey operations. It's going to keep Jay Feaster in place as general manager, and I'm not sold on the move. I've never really been a Brian Burke guy. I know he was with Anaheim when they won the Stanley Cup in 2007, but Maury built most of that team. And I mean, in fairness to Burke, he had a legitimate Stanley Cup contender in Vancouver, and then Todd Bertuzzi chose to go apeshit and attack more. So that's one thing to look at. And the Flames need to rebuild. They had one thing going where they're going to stockpile draft picks, and like I said, they had 3 first-round picks this year, and drafted 3 pretty good players. They had a pretty good draft, which they haven't had in a long time. And then, if you look at the way Burke was building it in Toronto, he wasn't stockpiling those picks, he was trading away those picks. So I think it's going to be a conflict in the front office of the Flames, unless they can come to some sort of compromise on most moves, which, see what happens. But I'm not sold on this move. I'm really not. I don't think I don't think it's the right situation for him, to do a full-fledged rebuild. I mean, as much as, you can say, well, Toronto made the playoffs last year because of Burke. Yeah, but one playoff appearance 5 years after he took over. I mean, what's that about? And, the Castle trade, the jury is obviously still out. The Bruins trade and say can kind of change that equation, but it's just he's got some arrogance problems that I think really work to his detriment. I mean, one thing is he won't offer sheet anyone, because it's a gentleman's thing and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, he gave up 2 firsts and a second for Castle when had he offer sheet him for the same price, it would have been a 1, a 2, and a 3. I mean, if I'm a Toronto fan, I'm up in arms because the sanctity of the game. It's like, you got to do what's best for your organization, and it's kind of funny watching. This could be a massive train wreck, which should be intriguing to watch. But like I said, I think Calgary was on the right path rebuilding. I hope Burke buys into that and doesn't try to put his own Brian Burke spin on everything because that's what he does. But they'll be tougher to play against on a night-in, night-out basis for the short term, but this is a team that has to look long-term with its prospects and with its organizational depth, and I'm just not sure Burke's the guy for that type of rebuild, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Calgary Flames, hiring Brian Burke as the president of hockey operations, which will keep Jay Feaster, that Jay Feaster, in place as general manager. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the off-season and beyond. Later, guys.